Phantoms serve as a tank class XDEFIANT, and as such, they have extra HP and the only shields in the game, making them an essential pick, and if placed in the correct hands, can single-handedly, no pun intended, carry games, and that's what I'm here for, to make you the dominant factor in every game you play. Now, disclaimer, this guide is more focused on a competitive 4v4 single ability format that is coming in Season 1. So not everything said in this video can be replicated with as much ease and precision in 6v6, but it is still possible. Alright, with that said and done, let's get right into it. The Phantoms have the passive trait Harden, which gives them extra health, 120 compared to the other factions 100, with the exception of Libertad's ultimate, which gives those in its radius 200 health. This means that for 99% of the game, you are always going to be at an advantage in a gunfight, and you should constantly use that health advantage to put your foot on the gas and take control over your opponents. The Phantoms have access to 3 total shields: the Mag Barrier, Blitz Shield, and Aegis. The Mag Barrier is a one-way shield that allows friendly nades and bullets to go through it while simultaneously blocking them from the enemy. The Mag Barrier has an HP pool of 470 and lasts for a total of 10 seconds with a cooldown of 30. The Blitz Shield is a front covering shield that blocks bullets and allows you to advance on your enemies with the option to perform a shield bash if they get too close. The Blitz Shield has an active duration of 25 seconds and a cooldown of 15. And lastly, we have the Aegis, a giant dome shield fitted with a close quarter scatter gun for personal defense. And by that description, I'm sure you can guess that's your ultimate. This lasts a total of 15 seconds and has 2 to 3 times more health than the Mag Barrier, and the cooldown can vary widely depending on how good you perform. When playing as the Phantoms, you need to understand how overpowered you are. I hinted this in the ability section, and it's the fact that you have 120 HP. This means you need to be aggressive with your positioning whenever possible. This also means that you'll most likely be playing an AR to take those more aggressive and deeper fights until their spawn, as you'd be struggling to secure kills with the SMG. However, this can change if you're playing Escort and using the Blitz Shield, but we'll have to come back to this. In 99% of your games, you're gonna want to be on the AR and using the Mag Barrier with, in my opinion, grenade as your device. But this is entirely up to you. Nades are just super strong right now. Okay, we got the loadout, and we understand that we need to be taking space aggressively, but how do we effectively do it? Well, that's where our abilities come in. I want you to look at these 2 shields. Which one do you think is better? Okay, what about now? If you had your eyes open, you would have said the second shield is much better. Use this as a reference to how you should try and place shields. And I say try because I understand that you won't be able to get shields like this every single time. There's going to be times where you'll have to shield at your feet, and that's okay. It just shouldn't be every time you shield, because that's when it's a problem. This is the main shield philosophy that you need to follow. Number 1 is to always have natural cover nearby. This is self-explanatory. You don't want to have your shield get blown to smithereens and then you're out in the open naked. That's not good. Number 2, shield the enemy more than you shield yourself and your team. Now, as I said not too long ago, this will change, but treat shielding like smoke grenades. They benefit you more if it disrupts how the enemy team moves and uses their utility. Now, when you get access to your ultimate, as when all of this changes somewhat. Whenever you get Aegis, your playstyle has to change depending on 3 things. 1, the state of the game. 2, if you're attacking or defending. And 3, the enemy's presence. 1 and 3 go together, so we'll start there. Are you winning or losing? What util does your team have? What about the enemy team? Do they have ults? What's your team's ults? What's your team's positioning? What about the other team's positioning? All of this plays a part when you get Aegis, because if you just pop this without a game plan, you're well on your way to wasting it. The main goal of your ult is to hold down and secure objectives. At least that's the main gist without getting too deep into counters and playing around those. So we have to rewind a bit because I did say I was going to come back to the Blitz Shield. In my 100% correct opinion, you should only be using this when playing Escort, and even then, it can still be hard to justify bringing this out over the Mag Barrier. And this is for a couple reasons. Reason number 1 is the Mag Barrier can get just as much or even more value. It would just be a little bit more difficult because obviously the point is constantly moving forward. Reason number 2, you can get naded, shot in the feet, shot in the head, flame drone, firebomb, and they can straight up run through you since there's no collision with the enemy team. Though that previous point shouldn't happen all too much since you can melee them, but the other 5 make using this a bit of a pain sometimes, especially getting shot in the head and feet. Nades, Firebomb, and Flame Drone all make sense as reasonable counters, but they're still annoying, I can't lie. And the last reason number 3, is because of EMPs. For whatever reason, EMPs make you put your shield away. Most likely because the visor is the exact same as the mag barrier. This also leads us straight into our next section, which is counters. There are 4 counters to the Phantoms. These counters include EMPs, nades as I stated earlier, cleaners, and dead set. Starting with EMPs and nades, since we already know a little bit about both, nades simply force you out of your position or flat out kill you if thrown correctly, causing you to always lose space. However, this will change whenever trophy systems are added into the game. EMPs, on the other hand, can kill you, but requires a bit extra teamwork from the enemy team. It also depends if it's a dead sec EMP or an EMP grenade. We'll start with the grenade. The EMP grenade is really bad. They flat out destroy your mag barrier, and as I said earlier, cause you to put your blitz shield away right in front of the enemy. However, they don't affect your ultimate, because that's where your hard counter dead sec comes in. Their ultimate is the exact same as the EMP grenade, but with the massive radius and the ability to destroy ultimates like your Aegis. They also have the ability to turn your barrier against you with their ability Hijack. And if they couple this with lethal grenades that they can infinitely print, they can make your life and your team's life on the objective a living hell. But I have a slight theory on how to somewhat mitigate the whole hijack thing. It goes like this. You place your shield, enemy dead sec hacks it. Now, if you have a friendly dead sec, either they hack it back or they hack the enemy Phantom shield. And both teams now have a useless shield. But the problem with this is, I don't know if this is possible because there's no custom games yet and nobody runs hijack. However, we'll just go out on a limb and say that that's possible for now. But that's the only real counterplay you have when it comes to playing against a hijack dead sec. And this can get even more complicated when losing and even easier when winning. Let me explain. When it comes to the ults, whoever's winning the match has complete control over the other team's Aegis and EMP ults. And this is because if the enemy team wants to turn the game around, they will have to use Aegis. But to use Aegis, they'd also have to use EMP as well to stop the winning team from countering their ults. But this doesn't fix much, because the winning team will just use Aegis next team fight and save EMP for other ults like Libertad's. And this can't be remedied by using Libertad's ult to bait EMP from the winning team, because the appropriate reaction would be the cleaner's flamethrower, or to simply wait it out and hit the point hard after it's gone, or even just giving the point, setting up for the next one, and being up an ultimate on the enemy team at all times. And this is assuming all 8 players have their ult, which, if I'm gonna be honest, is very unlikely. Usually it's just dead sec and Phantom with their ults doing the Spider-Man meme. Your last counter is cleaners. The cleaner's firebomb can one-shot you out of your ult, potentially taking out multiple people if too close together. They can also firebomb you off your mag barrier and blitz shield, along with their fire drone being very, very dangerous if you're using the blitz shield on escort. But this is really easy countered by spreading out and taking out that cleaner before he gets too close. However, your mag barrier and Aegis do stop their flamethrowers, so you get to bully them back a bit. So, if you ever see a cleaner running at you with flamethrower, and you have Aegis or mag barrier, preferably mag barrier, shoot that down at your feet. This is one of the times where I said it's good, and put him to rest. Now, if you have to use Aegis because it's going to help you win the game, by all means do it. But obviously you don't want to use Aegis just to counter a cleaner flamethrower if you don't need to. But if push comes to shove, you do what you got to do. And with that, that's the end of the video. If you did enjoy, please share it with your friends so that they too know how to play the Phantoms properly. And of course, do the like, comment, and subscribe thingy, but only if you liked the video. And if you didn't like it, you got to tell me why in the comments, because it never hurts to get better. And who knows, by next video, if you didn't like this one, you your feedback can be the difference on if you like the next one. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the gameplay. Have a great day.